Hey, franchising doesn't break because you can't sell. It often is breaking because your franchisees don't know how to own a business. And your training didn't, and it really wasn't designed to fix that, wasn't designed to teach that. But that's the gap that nobody in franchising is really talking about. And we're going there today in Franchise Pitfalls and Profits.
This is the Franchise Pitfalls and Profits Show. Each week, we bring you the challenges and triumphs of being in the franchise development and consulting business. The things you need to make money faster. And now your host, one of the most successful franchise developers in North America, Don Shin.
Hey, everybody, it's Don Shin, founder of Franchise Building Expert and the podcast Franchise Pitfalls and Profits. Today, we're kicking off kind of a series of episodes focused on what I believe is one of the most overlooked, under-discussed reasons franchise brands struggle to scale. And it's not the reason most people think. Too often, franchisors, brands, the default thinking is, hey, if we're not growing fast enough, we need more leads, we need more deals. And they put pressure on their marketing teams and they put pressure on their fran dev teams. Yes, leads matter. And yes, there's a factor, a percentage factor, a relationship between the number of leads and the number of deals your fran dev people make. It all matters. But what I'm going to walk you through today and over the next couple of episodes is something that I've seen playing out over the last couple of years in this industry as I've talked with many franchisors. And what they're telling me is that the real limiter on their growth isn't really franchise sales. What we're finding out together that it's about unit level performance. And the strongest brands are starting to look at unit level performance. So let's get into it. There is an illusion about growth, or the growth illusion issue. Franchise sales activities can create the illusion of growth. You sell a few units, you open some locations. On paper, your system looks like it is expanding. What is happening, though, underneath the surface of this growth? Are your franchisees ramping up quickly or as they should based on your model? Are they hitting revenue levels that they need to be hitting? That's a whole nother subject, to hitting their own revenue levels to even have those levels. Probably what you want to think about on this one is, are they hitting revenue levels that your model is capable of producing? Are they profitable and stable? Are they validating well when new candidates call? And I don't mean the handful of franchise partners you let them talk to in validation. I'm talking across the board. Are they validating strongly for, if any prospect would call any individual franchise partner? Because if they're not doing these things, if in your early and your middle tier franchisees, if they are struggling, being honest here with you, your growth isn't sustainable. Whatever you think has gone well is not going to continue. You are building a house on a very shaky foundation. The truth is, your brand doesn't scale on units sold. It scales on unit performance. Let me say that again. Your brand doesn't scale on units sold. It scales on units performing. So let's take a look at this. And there's this regularly thought of bell curve in franchising, but people don't use it well. People don't talk about it, I don't think, in the right way. So let's talk about that just a little bit. Regardless of the brand, almost any franchise system, and in the industry, I've often heard it referred to as the 20-60-20 rule. The top 20% of your franchisees, they do well. They're your top performers. The bottom 20% don't perform adequately. They really struggle. Some of them fail. Honestly, maybe they should never have been recruited. And then there's that large group in the middle, or as I said, the 60% or more, 60 to 70%, a lot of times will say. They're good people. You recruited properly, but still they are not performing at their full potential or to the full potential of your model. That middle group is where most brands lose their momentum. They're not bad people. They are not even really bad operators. They believe in the brand. They're good brand ambassadors. They follow your operating system. They probably validate well, or at least okay, except when it comes for how much money they're making. But they do care, and yet they are still underperforming relative to what your system, your model, the way you designed it, the way you've operated should produce. So what is causing this underperformance? Again, let's talk about what most people haven't looked at very closely. Let's look at the real gaps that you're dealing with. And in most cases, it has nothing to do with effort, lack of effort, has nothing to do with poor work ethics. It has nothing to do with lack of compliance with your brand. These are unaddressed gaps in core business ownership skill sets. When they came to your system, they primarily brought an employee mindset. Because while your operating training, I'm sure, is pretty doggone good. I'm confident you train them well in your operating systems. Let's face it, it's focused on teaching them the system, products, the service, the processes. But running the system isn't the same as owning a business. So here are the gaps we have really been uncovering in the last couple of years of our talks with franchise brands. Leadership and people management is a gap. I don't care if you have 3 employees or 30 employees in your model, they still have to lead. They still have to show leadership qualities. Another one is just local sales confidence, what I call community selling and revenue generation for your unit. Some of the things we teach in that are to this group and in our programs benefit their communication skill sets, ways to improve your levels of communications with people in general. So that's got a double whammy. It helps in sales. It helps in leadership. Another thing is they bring in a real serious gap in financial literacy, and as well as just daily decision making. If they've been employed, and depending on what level they've been employed at, they haven't had to make decisions. They've been followers as opposed to leaders, and they really haven't had to run a business or have never had financial expectations on them in their employment situations. And then lastly, just business prioritization, goal setting, planning, and then the accountability and execution skills we see that are part of a business owner mindset. We see this as a final gap that I wanted to mention. But these gaps don't always show up on day one. As new franchisees launch and they encounter real world business pressures, these problems surface very, very quickly. And sometimes even when they do surface, I see franchisors simply say, oh, it's just the general fear of business ownership and fear of the unknown and something that they just got started in, but they'll be okay. They're good people. Well, it isn't that. An employee mindset doesn't worry, and because they still have a paycheck coming in, they still have money coming in. And that's how they are acting in their business, or some hybrid blend. They're starting to get worried because they're not sure what to do in these situations, but they have this employee mindset of not really doing anything about it. The business owner mindset knows what to do. And this is what I'm talking about. Many in that 60% block, 60 to 70% block, just don't have the business owner mindset. So, for franchisors, what does that mean for franchisors? What it means is that these gaps have very real, tangible costs. Slower ramp up periods, which is what these franchisees typically are going to experience. They need more support on the front end, which costs you more money. Flat or inconsistent royalties and revenue streams for you as the franchisor is a result of these people not having the business owner mindset and the right business skill sets to be business owners of your brand. This is going to put strain on your operations teams. What I found is most franchisors operating teams are trained to handle operational structure process type problems or challenges. And then all of a sudden now they get a title. Some brands I see title these people as business coaches, but I don't think they even have made the transition of really working, having people that really have business coaching skills or working properly with the franchisees in the right fashions. They're still kind of somewhere caught in that purgatory in between of really better at addressing the operational challenges and kind of walking around or dealing with some of the business challenges that they're seeing in their franchise partners. What does it cost you, the franchisor? Continued conversation, validation risks. Somewhere along the line, even if you incorrectly try to direct them only to certain franchise partners that you know are doing well across the board, it's going to come out. It's going to come out around your broker organizations. It's going to come out around somebody gets a phone number of somebody that they call and hear some things. It'll even come out from your great validators who may say, yeah, I've heard Bob and Sally over there in Poughkeepsie aren't doing as well as I'm doing. It's going to come out, and therefore you risk your franchise development success based on these validation challenges based on operator or unit performance. And then the last thing for you as franchisors is that you are going to be missing multi-unit growth opportunities. There's people in this 60% that could be buying extra territories. That, to me, that was a huge part of my growth when I was a master franchisee, was the successful franchise partners wanting to expand. And you are going to miss out on these multi-unit opportunities. So many franchisors know they have underperforming franchisees, but they don't fully recognize why. And so you don't do anything. Or you often default to, hey, they're not following the system, or they just don't work hard enough. I don't see them really putting in the effort. In most cases, what they really need is structured development and training in business ownership skills, which is going to drive their scalability, and it's going to drive repeatability at the unit level for you overall as the franchisor. So this is a framework that we teach and we advise and we consult on. It's exactly why we've built some of the programs that we are now offering into the marketplace. Our approach is built very simply on the reality that if you close these gaps early enough, you strengthen your overall franchise partner, franchisee unit performance. And the stronger the performance is, the better your royalty flows, it protects your validation, and it just really creates more opportunity for the overall system growth. So we strongly recommend equipping new franchisees in particular, or franchisees as early as possible, equipping them with this ownership mindset, equipping them with local or community sales and marketing skills, which go beyond what you teach them specific marketing strategies to use operationally. We recommend they learn more, get some more financial basics so that they can have more confidence in their finances and how to use their financial performance to grow it. We strongly encourage leadership development. Again, you may think, our model's only got 3 or 4 or 5 people at any given time. They still need to lead those people and have stronger leadership capabilities. And then the overall goal planning, decision making, and then when you have a plan, the ability to work that plan to its successful execution. This is another part of business ownership mindset that our systems, and we're recommending our clients instill early on with their franchise partners. Because when franchisees stabilize faster, perform better, they're positioned, and your whole franchise system is positioned to grow better. The overall entire brand benefits. And that's what we're going to continue to explore in the coming few episodes. And note, by the way, I keep talking about doing it early on. Certainly, if you're a franchisor, 15 to 100 units, you might start. Again, if you're on the smaller side, you're starting to sense this or see this a bit, not quite sure what to do with it. You don't have time to deal with it. If you're up in that 70 to 100, you're feeling it in a lot of ways. And it could be what's slowing your growth down, plateauing it. It could be what's keeping you from breaking through that 100 barrier, the magic number. So it's easier to do it as early as you can and instill this and get this instilled properly in your new franchise partners. But if you can eliminate the gaps in whatever way, to even current underperformers, if they're willing to learn and really want to grow their business, those are the ones that are worth investing in, even if they've been with your franchise for a couple of years. So again, if you're a franchisor, as I kind of wrap this up, whether you're an emerging, growing, or mature brand, or you're feeling kind of the frustrations, this is what I find so interesting, because your franchise training people and your particularly the ones that support your new franchise partners, they get very frustrated, and rightfully so, with these underperformers, but they know most of these are really good people. So what you've got to know is the gaps are clear if you look. And the thing that's so fortunate is that these gaps can be addressed as long as you know what they are, or you get some help finding out what they are and addressing them. So we're going to continue to unpack these challenges in the next couple of episodes. I appreciate your listening, and I'll see you the next time. But before I close, I do want to share something from the heart about everything I do. People have given me kind words and encouraging words from them, that they were encouraged when I shared this. So I want to start sharing this on a more regular basis. Franchising isn't just about systems and sales, or at least it isn't to me. It's about people stepping into ownership. It's about them building businesses, impacting their own families, impacting families of the people that they employ, impacting their communities, all for better futures for all of them. Behind every franchise agreement, there is a story that matters, because there's people there. My work is rooted in a very simple belief that everything my company does should be with the right foundations: leadership, sales, financing, decision-making. We don't build stronger business alone. We build legacies. And mine has been driven by my faith. In the Bible, in the book of Acts, chapter 13, it says that now when David had served God's purpose in his own generation, he fell asleep or he died. That's my purpose too, to serve well in this generation, to create an impact in this generation, but also to create a multi-generational impact, one that impacts not just my grandchildren, but my grandchildren's grandchildren. All along the way, I want to be sure I'm giving God all the glory because he is the source of it all. And that's why I do what I do the way I do it. So anyway, if you're getting value out of today, subscribe, like, please share your comments. We would love to hear from you. And I just wish you well for the rest of your day.